Hello friends, today's video is about the connection of our voice and what is called the narcissistic trauma. This topic is really dear to my heart. I study it a lot. I am including that into my book. Yes, I started writing a book about the voice and our psyche. So today we will talk about what narcissistic trauma is, how it is formed, what are the symptoms you might be encountering in yourself, and how voice work can help us find that path towards our true selves. Stay with me till the end of this video because I will show you a few simple ways to release tension in your body through your voice and find that safe connection with yourself. Usually the symptoms for you feeling like you have the narcissistic trauma would be might be depression, might be your sense of disconnection from self, a lot of inner conflicts, critical voice in your head, negative self-talk. So there are many ways you can identify that actually you are not in touch with your true self, and the voice is there as a tool for you to find that connection back. My name is Marina Robbins. I am a voice coach and a psychologist. I help my clients express themselves on stage, or on camera and social media with confidence and no fear. Usually people come to me when they say, I don't like the way I speak, I don't like the way I sound, I want to have a better voice. But very often we find that the voice is just the expression of your inner state. So quickly we need to look further inside of what is your voice manifesting right now. Maybe your voice is weak and very fine, and that usually represents something in your psyche that's very vulnerable, and you are struggling to find strengths within yourself, that support structure for your voice to also sound full and strong. That is just an example. So in my work, I combine both vocal technique, because I've studied the voice for more than 15 years, and at the same time, the psychological insight to help you make the lasting change. Usually I offer vocal techniques. Together with it, we work on what is really going on the subconscious level. And together we create this beautiful voice, your whole presence. It's not so much about the voice as it is about how you come across in the world, with how you sound and what impression you make. So today is about narcissistic trauma. What is that? First of all, this is almost a generational problem, at least in the area where I come from. I'm from Russia, and I know that a lot of my friends from post-Soviet environment also have that, because we were all raised by the generation of people who had certain expectations from us, and the environment had certain expectations. And I'm sure that in other countries there are also people with similar trauma. So narcissistic trauma is when your parents did not really see a separate entity in you, rather than they had a projection of self in you. There were certain behaviors that were acceptable and certain self-expressions that were okay, and there were also other self-expressions that were not. Unfortunately, what it forms is not only rules of behavior, but also alienation from your true self. You didn't get the chance to know yourself, who you are, what you like, what are your interests, your true interests. The way it worked is you were told what is good for you, and instead of having your inner compass that will guide you through life, now you are relying on outside signs, other people, their lives, as your guidance to what is right. And any attempt to go after your true self, after your true desires and needs, causes a strong sense of shame and guilt. That if you want something that doesn't immediately make sense, you can't logically explain it, or you don't have anyone in your surroundings who does that kind of thing, you feel like you are not okay. You feel guilty for having the right to go after the things that are important for you. Strong sense of guilt and shame is associated with a narcissistic trauma. Let me know if you have recognized yourself in this description. Imagine you feel very down, you are very sad and in a depression. You don't even know where that depression comes from. You've been doing everything according to how things should be done, and in the end you are nowhere, you are not happy. It seems like you have things that were supposed to make you happy, but you are not. This means that somewhere you stopped listening to yourself and didn't feel like you have the right to do so. So how does narcissistic trauma and your voice, how are they related? Narcissistic trauma alienates you from yourself. Your voice is a representation of your nervous system, how you feel right now. And your voice shows in the sound that there are things not entirely okay. An example, one of the very bright images, audio images that I have in my mind is I remember working with a person with a narcissistic trauma, and their voice sounded like it was not projected here clearly in the resonators, but the voice was almost like hidden inside and was coming from very, very deep somewhere. Like there are walls and space between real true self who is speaking from inside and the actual self interacting with the world, like a mask was interacting with the world, not a real person. Another possible expression of a narcissistic voice is shallow, very weak sound of the voice. Kind of sounds like this, you can barely hear it. Why this happens? There is no inner structure, support inside the body to provide the strong sound. And that feeling of strength comes not so much from the physical engagement of the muscle, rather than the nervous system is in such a state that it does not engage a whole bunch of different structures in the body in order to provide that strong sound. Where I'm leading it is that voice is, it's almost impossible to create the voice from the conscious mind. There are way too many muscles and structures that you need to engage in a certain way, and there are so many of them you are not even conscious of. So the only way to have a certain voice is to go into the subconscious level, change the settings in it so that the rest of the body suddenly gets into a different state and naturally produces a different sound. This part took me years to understand. I was going from one singing coach to another, trying to tweak my voice and find the muscles, how I engage diaphragm and all of that. In the end, everything was almost in vain. Maybe it changed my singing a little bit, but not until I came across the knowledge that our voice, our emotions, our state, our self-image are so much connected. It's almost like the same expression, the different expression of the same thing, of ourselves, how we feel. And the sound, your voice never lies. You can look different, but usually body language gives away what's going on. The sound of your voice gives away what's going on. And only about 7% of the communication is accounted for verbal message. Only 7% of what we perceive from people is from what they're actually saying with the words. All the rest we read from how I sit, how I stand, how I sound. So how is that voice works as a bridge back towards yourself? When we start tuning into our sound, our voice, we can find true emotions that we're experiencing, and we give ourselves the right to experience exactly those emotions. We can try to do an exercise right now. Try to think about things that are maybe on your mind right now. Maybe you are struggling with something. I want you to close your eyes. Think about that thing you would like to solve. Think of what's present right now in you. What are the emotions that are running through the body? Maybe there are certain sensations in your body. And now I would like you to try and express that sensation with the sound of your voice. It can be any sound, it can be music, it can be just an emotional sound. What did that sound tell you? How does it represent what is alive in you right now. Now you can take that sound and develop it into something else. Maybe you want to take that sound further, make it louder, maybe create another note with it. Whatever wants to be said, expressed, let it be. It doesn't have to be beautiful, just true. This is how slowly, step by step, we start connecting to our true emotions. They are all right here in your body. Your body never lies. Your body does not live in the past or in the future. Only the mind does. So when we return the focus back to our body and we express what it feels through the voice, we have the chance to connect to our true emotions, and not just connect, but express them, let them go. If you feel sad, you can do the whiny voice and cry, and there will be an emotional release behind that. At the same time, you can try and create a joyful state in yourself and your body through the voice. Just create joyful sounds and also move in a way that a happy person would. These are the exercises I'm doing with my clients together in a therapeutic environment where you have a safe space to explore what's present, to connect to that sound, and I guide my clients to find the emotion, to connect to it, to release it, and with that, a whole bunch of energy is released and becomes yours to create, yours to be. How is that related to communications? Well, when we encounter those inner conflicts, disconnection from self, we start building back the good relationship with self. We build strong voice through vocal technique. We find what it is your psyche needs in order to be a great communicator, presenter, influence people with your ideas, be out there, fully present, fully yourself, expressive. Try yourself in different ways. Maybe you want to try present on stage, maybe you want to start a blog, whatever it is, you will have less fear, self-judgment, and you will be able to start making your way towards your goals. And every time you start resonating freely, it's like you acknowledge to yourself, I am here, I exist, this is true me, I have the right to be the way I am, and I have the right to have my own desires, my own interests, and go after them. And this is the work I do with my clients. It's not just about the beautiful sound of your voice. It goes much, much deeper in order to help you feel different. So many people think that narcissistic trauma is just about curing the mind, but the truth is your voice and your body are always there, and they are as much experiencing this trauma as your mind. You will find different manifestations of conflicts in your body through chronic disease, through fatigue, through lack of energy or too much anxiety. All of this will be manifested in the body and in the voice. And through these great tools, we can help ourselves heal and find harmony within ourselves. If this resonates with you and you would like to explore this topic together, click the link below and book a session with me. I offer individual sessions online and in presence. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, because in the next one, I will tell how your voice can not only heal you, but also create a sound of authority, sound with which you can influence other people and create confidence in yourself.